Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's October 25th, 2016. Game one of the World Series is about to get underway. The Chicago Cubs, the Cleveland Indians. One of the big storylines today is that the young star player for the Cubs, Kyle Schwarber, the home run hitting machine, is back in the lineup. He's starting for game one after being out almost all season, because the story is that he tore his ACL on April 9th in a collision. Here is the headline from the day it happened. Cubs outfielder Kyle Schwarber to miss season with fully torn ACL. That was April 9th. We're going to talk about the significance of April 9th to today, October 25th, 2016, and what it has to do with this scripted World Series. In spring training, I put out a video saying why the Cubs would be in the World Series, just like last year I put out a video during spring training saying why the Mets would be in the World Series. 2 years in a row, I've called a team to be in the World Series by understanding how sports are scripted. At the beginning of this postseason, I said why it should be Cubs and Indians. Got that right, too, by paying attention to the scripting, which we'll talk more about. But anyway, after I made that pick, when this injury happened, a lot of people asked me, Zach, do you think your pick's wrong? The Cubs just lost one of their stars. Maybe they're not going to go to the World Series. And I told everyone, no, just watch. The Cubs are still going to go to the World Series. I won't be surprised if Kyle Schwarber returns just in time for the World Series. I thought they might give him a few warm-up games, but here he is coming back for Game 1. And I'm going to show you why it's happening today, just how scripted all of this is. This is definitive proof of how professional sports are scripted and how professional athletes are made to fake injuries sometimes for part of the script, for part of the narrative. If you think that's crazy, stay tuned, pay attention to every word I say, and then go back and look at my resume. In the last year, I've called the NBA Finals correctly, which two teams would be in it, which would win. I've done the same thing for the NFL, the Super Bowl, the Broncos over the Panthers. Last year, early in the season, I called Warriors and Cavs 2 years ago, two NBA Finals ago. I said why it would be Warriors-Cavs the first time. Been calling a lot of things because I've learned how these games are scripted. So that said, let's get into today's news. He was supposedly injured April 9th, a date written 9/4. A lot like 94. This year, the Major League Baseball season began on the 94th day. If you write out 94 as a word, in gematria, it sums to the same thing as World Series, which is 57 the small way, 147 the big way. The Cubs this year won their 94th game in their 147th game of the season. The Indians won 94 games in the regular season. Their manager's 57 years old. This man injured on a date 9/4, a lot like 94. 94 was also the lockout season for baseball. The Indians had a good year that year. So from the day he was injured to October 25th, today, Game 1 of the World Series, the day he's coming back, 199 days. And let me remind you, 199 is the 46th prime number. Chicago equals 46. Chicago Cubs equals 46. The reason no hitters up here is because Jake Arrieta threw the first no-hitter of the season 46 days after his birthday on the 112th day of the year. This is the 112th World Series about to get underway. I said the day that happened, that was another sure sign the Cubs would be in the World Series. And here they are. Sports are scripted. Now, there's a whole lot more to Kyle Schwarber. Let's cover the rest. In case I forgot to say so, again, CC, Chris Coughlin, coming back today also. CC, Chicago Cubs, CC. We're in the month of Christopher Columbus Day, Christopher Columbus, CC, whose voyage was paid for by the Catholic Church, CC. We celebrate Christopher Columbus Day in October, the same month that we have the World Series. October's the only month that sums to 33. Cleveland's the only city that sums to 33. The word Indian, the singular, sums to 33. One of the only teams in the league that sums to 33 is Tigers, who the Cubs have their only 2 World Series wins over. This man comes back with the last name Coughlin with the CC initials. Notice that Coughlin's 33, like Indian, like Cleveland. So here's where it gets even more interesting. His name in simple English gematria, Kyle Joseph Schwarber, sums to 223. 223 is the number connected to the curse of the Billy Goat and the Zionist Jews who operate heavily out of Chicago. Wall Street Journal just wrote the article October 21st that the Chicago Cubs are the team of the Jews. Look at this. The name in the Bible for the false Jews who are said to rule in the end times. In this world, the Zionist Jews control our media, control our sports leagues, practice gematria, like I'm showing you. Their name is the Synagogue of Satan, 223. The Cubs are under the curse of the Billy Goat, 223. By the way, Billy Goat alone equals 103, like the number of wins the Cubs had this year. The man credited with the curse of the Billy Goat is Billy Sianis, Billy Goat. Bill Murray went to the White House and said the curse would be broken. It was broken 46 years to the day after Billy Sianis died. More on that in just a second. Synagogue of Satan 223, Curse of the Billy Goat. We got Detroit's goat. What's on the sign from the Curse of the Billy Goat? Bill Murray's birth name is William James Murray. Bill Murray just said the Curse of the Billy Goat would be broken in Game 6, and he got it, 223. Kyle Joseph Schwarber. The man coming back today, his full name, Kyle Joseph Schwarber, 223. The year of the Curse of the Billy Goat. So look, Kyle Joseph Schwarber also sums to 88. The number 8 is the infinity symbol on its side, having to do with time, the infinite cycles, in Back to the Future, the movie, which talks about the Cubs winning the World Series. Connected through Miami. The Indians were last in a World Series against Miami. Think about the baton passing, possibly, and the rigging, if you know what I'm saying. Miami to Cleveland, back to Chicago. In that movie, they time travel at 88 miles per hour. Okay? 8 represents time traveling at 88 miles per hour. The other night, Game 6 of the National League Championship Series, where the Cubs closed out the Dodgers, who last won in 88. California, one of 2 states that equals 88. Anyhow, right before Kyle Hendricks' 88th pitch, the commentator came on and said, "Would you believe it? 46 years ago today, Billy Sianis died, connected to the curse of the Billy Goat." 46 against Chicago, 46. Chicago Cubs, 46. Kyle Schwarber coming back 199 days after the injury, the 46th prime. I forgot to tell you, Tom Brady was the 199th pick of the NFL draft out of Michigan. Michigan equals 46. So does Patriots. So this 199, 46 thing, happens all the time. Last year in Super Bowl 50, it was the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. A lot of players with 199 named gematria having big games, as I documented. Anyway, Kyle Joseph Schwarber, the 88 connection, another number of focus. Again, there's 108 stitches on a baseball. The Cubs haven't won the World Series for 108 years. Major League equals 108. The stitches on a baseball, they're 88 inches long, that red string, that make up those 108 stitches. 88 inches of string. Kyle Schwarber, he was also born in 93. This year, the Cubs clinched in their 146th game, their 93rd win of the season. The number 93 is the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Cubs about to break a curse in time, scripted by the numbers. Again, it goes back 71 years. Today has 71 numerology. The date of game 1, 10 plus 25 plus 20 plus 16. The Indians are 7-1 in the postseason. The starting pitcher, John Lester, born January 7th, 7/1, you know. Kyle Schwarber, he's born in Middletown, Ohio. Middletown has this gematria of 119, like Star of David, the Zionist symbol, like all-seeing eye, like master plan. His birthday is March 5th, Kyle Schwarber. From today to his upcoming birthday is 131 days. That's interesting because it's the number connected to championships and World Series. When you write out World Series, it sums to 57. 57 sums to 131, just like Billy Sianis, who's connected to the curse of the Billy Goat. Just like Bill Murray, which I meant to write up here. Bill Murray equals 131. Championship equals 131. Super Bowl equals 131. It's also 33 weeks and 3 days from his last birthday. His 23rd. He'll be 24 this coming spring, just before the next season starts. If you missed my preview video for the game, I'll link in the description. I show the parallels between this and the NBA season. The 71st NBA season starts today on a date with 71 numerology. Just for some more knowledge, the word Catholic equals 71. The Catholic Church adjusted a policy today about cremations. International news. Perhaps because cemeteries are becoming full, making cremation more acceptable. Religions or politics. Look at this post time for this thing. 113, the number of mainstream dishonest. Hold on, there's more truth seeker. When Kyle Schwarber got hurt, he collided with Dexter Fowler, playing the Arizona Diamondbacks, where they won 14-6. Remember, in their 146th game, they won their 93rd game, becoming the first team to clinch this year. This game was 14-6. Player born in 93 gets injured. Look at Arizona Diamondbacks in Gematria, 81. The Cubs just went up 8-1 the other night in the 8th against the Dodgers in LA. Chicago in Jewish Gematria equals 81. The Diamondbacks play in Phoenix. Phoenix equals 46, like Chicago Cubs. Again, Kyle Schwarber coming back 199 days later, the 46th prime. If you write out 94, it sums to 147 and 57. The Indians won 94 games. Terry Francona is 57 years old, who's connected to the Boston Red Sox curse. Just like Dave Roberts, who the Cubs advanced over. World Series has that gematria of 147 and 57 too, you know? It's so scripted, truth seeker. It's so undeniable. Unless you really want to deny it. But then why would you want to do that, you know? Why deny the truth? What I'm saying is, let's expose all this. Let's make professional sports sensible. How about we install some legitimate ideas, such as if you want to play for a city sports team, you have to be from that state. Or if a state doesn't have a team, perhaps a region. You know, up here in the Pacific Northwest, there's no team in Montana or Idaho. So maybe Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, they're all a group. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Some rules like that. And also, think about it. Professional athletes, it's an honor. You're representing your city. You're getting to compete. You know, why do you need to get paid all this money? You know, I feel like a lot of people who are great athletes would just want to play if they could. And perhaps get a salary for it, you know? Imagine being honored and getting paid $100,000 to play professional sports. If you didn't know any better, that would be awesome. You know, what a great life. You get to enjoy the game you love. You get to show off for your region, your city, you know? And you get paid a fair amount of money. You know why athletes get paid so much in this world? Because they're actors. They're actors. And they're selling you out. And they're maintaining the lies. And they're pretending like they're really injured. You guys, yesterday there was an article about how Teddy Bridgewater's career might be over, the NFL quarterback, because of his injury. He's not even hurt. He's not even hurt. The entire injury is fake. Watch my video on it. It's worse than this. It's such a joke, you guys. It's just a joke what's going on. The people who rule this world, they're tyrants. They make everything nonsensical, insane, and all the gullible masses fall for it. Professional sports can be completely legitimate. And imagine if athletes got paid $100,000. Guess what that means? That means people could afford to go to the game. So many people can never go to a sports game because they don't have the money. I'm just talking common sense, you guys. We got to get back to it. Until next time.